What solutions help analyze schedule risk without needing a specialized scheduler? Most projects don't fail because the schedule logic is wrong. They fail because risks show up late when your options are very limited. And here's the hard truth. Most project teams don't have a specialized scheduler sitting in the trailer every day. So when someone asks what solutions help analyze schedule risk without needing a specialized scheduler, they're not asking for a fancy tool. They're asking, how do we see trouble coming early enough to do something about it without turning everyone into a scheduler? Hey, I'm Mike, a builder and innovator who has worked as a designer, subcontractor, GC, and owner, and now I run the customer success team at Outbuild. In a lot of organizations, schedule risk analysis lives in a CPM file only a few people can interpret, reports that come out too late, and meetings where the real issues get discussed in the hallway afterward. So what happens? Field teams are managing today's fires, office teams are managing next month's promises, and executives only hear "we're fine" until suddenly we're not. It's not because people don't care, it's because risk is locked behind tools and terminology that most teams can't use day to day. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I don't think schedule risk should require a specialist to be visible. The best solutions are ones that turn schedule risk into simple operational signals. What's critical? What's at risk? What's blocked? What needs a decision this week tied directly to real commitments and constraints? That's the difference between analysis and control. If you want non-schedulers to manage risk, start with what people understand. Milestones. The team doesn't need to memorize float calculations. They need to know, are we still healthy for the next turnover? Are we burning buffer? And which chain of work is driving that date? So the first solution is a milestone-centered view that shows the path to the milestone and the top drivers of risk. If you can't explain the risk in less than 30 seconds, it's not field-friendly. Here's a practical truth. Float as a number doesn't help most teams. The float as a buffer absolutely does. A field-friendly risk view that treats float like buffer remaining and burn rate, that creates immediate clarity. The statement, we have 10 days of buffer and we're burning 2 days per week, is actionable. So solutions that simplify risk usually do one thing well. They translate scheduling math into production language. If you want to analyze schedule risk without a scheduler, you need leading indicators. The best leading indicator in construction is simple: constraints. RFIs, submittals, long lead items, inspections, and manpower. These are the early warning signals. So the next solution is any system that captures constraints tied to upcoming work, assigns an owner to a due date, tracks aging, and shows which constraints threaten the milestone path. Because when constraints are visible early, you don't need a specialist to tell you you're in trouble. The work itself is telling you. This is one of my favorite non-scheduler risk tools: commitment reliability. If the team is only completing 50 to 65% of what it commits each week, schedule risk is already present, even if the CPM schedule looks fine. So solutions that help non-schedulers analyze risk will track percent plan complete, reasons for variance, trend lines by phase, area, and trade, and recurring failure patterns. Because reliability tells you whether the plan is real, and when the plan is real, schedule risk shrinks. Outbuild is not trying to make everyone a scheduler. It's trying to make schedule risk operationally visible to the people who can actually do something about it. Outbuild helps teams connect milestones to phase plans and look-aheads, tie constraints to the work they block, turn trade promises into measurable commitments, and surface risk through simple signals and analytics with enough time left to do something about it. So instead of schedule risk being a monthly report, it becomes a daily conversation. What's critical? What's slipping? What's blocking us? What do we change now? That's a huge shift for construction, from reactive management to proactive control. If you want to analyze schedule risk without a specialized scheduler, start here. 1, anchor risk around the next milestone in its driving path. 2, transfer float into buffer and burn rate that anyone can understand. 3, track constraints as leading indicators, owned, dated, and visible. 4, track weekly commitment reliability with patterns, not just missed dates. And 5, put it all in one shared view so field and office are acting on the same truth. Construction will always have uncertainty, but risk shouldn't be invisible until it's expensive. The best solutions don't just analyze risk, they help teams see it early and act together.